Hey, folks. Hey, folks. Sorry to be late, but actually I'm only 10 minutes late, not a full hour late, as some people might think, because there was no daylight savings time here in Tokyo, in Japan, so it's actually same time. I unfortunately did not update the banner yet. Sorry about that, but I'm going to have to change the banner, I guess, to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I wonder if the countdown thing was okay. So last time this happened, the Blog TV countdown to the next show was all screwed up because of the daylight savings time. I don't know if they've worked that out yet. If they figured out how that works. But yeah, no, I got a random email this morning from a YouTube user, Blog TV user, saying, I hope you realize it's daylight savings times, which of course I did not realize. I had no idea it was daylight saving times. So thank God. It's funny, there's so many things out there that random people have reminded me of. Actually, Hilsey, I think you even reminded me about Mother's Day once. Was it Mother's? I think it was Mother's Day. And it was so true. I totally forgotten about it. And I got an email from someone saying, "Hey, Cooney, it's Mother's Day. Don't forget to tell your mom." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." So I had to send an email. So it's good having random people reminding me of what things are. Good to know. Very good to know. Thank you, Hilsey. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked the new video. The what was it? Yeah, samurai video. I'm a samurai now. Well, the key to that video, though, I didn't really explain it carefully enough. I don't think is I'm a samurai for screen. I think is my official qualification now. We learned how to be a fake samurai, not an actual samurai. As me and Mike were discussing at the end of the video, it'd actually be kind of cool to take a class with like a real samurai though, who can actually kill people. But that was just like how to look like you're dying on screen, or how to make it seem like you're killing people on screen. And that was basically it. But I can only kick ass if the camera's nearby, which is fortunate because I usually have a camera on hand. Being the YouTube nerd I am. Oh yeah, no, they were totally accepting of the hijinks. I mean, and that's the weird thing about editing the video. If I make it seem like the way, I mean, the guy was incredibly friendly, and you know, like they were totally into me making jokes about it because he knew that I was making a video for YouTube. You know, because it helps promote his class. So he was totally happy to have me do it. But the thing is, if I edit out, unless I edit out those parts, it doesn't seem as funny. You know, it has to seem a little bit as though he's pissed off in the version I edit. But in reality, he totally knew what I was doing and was very much in favor of me doing it. And that's why it's even funny when I get comments Like I got only a couple, but like some random douchebag out there will always comment like, "You should take it more seriously. You really shouldn't disrespect the dojo like that." Like it's it's a guy running a class in how to be a fake samurai out of like a community rec center on the weekend. I don't think it's like, oh come on, people. But it's like it's amazing. Some people tend to think that Japanese people are way too serious. That it's not nearly as fucking uptight as some people on the internet tend to think. You know, like I remember the video I did about the Temple of Hell. Like there's a Temple of Hell in Monzen Nakajo. And I remember talking to the Obo-san at that temple, and like he was hilarious. He kept talking about like he was a huge fan of Elvis, and he really liked how like Elvis was able to be popular and yet still retain a religious, you know, thing. Because Elvis recorded a lot of religious music. Many people don't realize that, but Elvis did a lot of gospel and stuff like that. So the Buddhist monk is telling me how much he admires like the gospel singing of Elvis Presley as a way to bridge the world of the religion into the world of the secular. And it was just like hilarious because like if you actually show that, you know, footage, it totally ruins the image of the place though, you know. So it's like, oh, he's totally like normal, and like you want the head monk at the Temple of Hell to be like a really angry, strict stereotype of a guy, of shaved head and, you know, fiery eyes. I mean that's the language TV works in, but unfortunately, you know, the reality is most people at these places are incredibly sweet, charming people, you know. Hey, Banzi. Japan is totally safe. Totally safe. Like, and just, I mean, if there weren't daily reminders. I mean, the recent killing spree in Germany and the one in, what was it, Alabama? That was interesting. There was a lot of those things happening, but you don't generally see gun sprees happen in Japan. Yes, being a monk is a full-time job, I believe, depending on the temple. Depends. If you're in a popular temple, it's definitely a full-time job. They have multiple monks per temple, but I think some smaller mountain temples and shrines, it's almost like a volunteer fire department type thing where they have more than one job. Tokyo bigger than New York City. Tokyo is definitely bigger than Manhattan. But actually, I don't know if all 23 wards of Tokyo are bigger than the 5 boroughs of New York City. That sounds like a question for Wikipedia. But I don't know offhand. Oh. But the problem is it depends on how you define a city. Like on size, population, because like actually Tokyo is about 13 million people, which is about the same as New York City, about 12, 13 million people, I believe. But the greater Tokyo area, which includes Chiba, Saitama, Yokohama, and, you know, like Kanagawa, basically, that prefecture, that gets up to like 30 million. So 30 million is huge. It's something like, and it's like 1 in 4 Japanese people live in the Tokyo area. Oh, cool! You saw the Tokyo eyepiece. Somebody put in the comment section of this Blog TV webpage a link to where that video is posted on the internet. So if you want to see that show I do for NHK, I'm not sure why you'd want to, but if you do, it's posted in the comment section of Blog TV. Someone found it out there. Yeah, but it's but I think I don't know if Tokyo is bigger than New York City or not. I think like I'm pretty sure, but like Mexico City, I think is like the largest in population technically. Ninja Dave, Osaka is the place to go to Tokyo. You know, it's funny. I can't give you a direct answer on that because I don't know. I've never lived in Osaka. I think gaijin who like living in Osaka are different from gaijin who like living in Tokyo. When I was in Osaka, I generally found that people were staring at me more and more excited by the fact that I was a gaijin. In Tokyo, people kind of don't care. So this is very rough, but I think foreigners living in Osaka like being special. And I think a lot of foreigners in Tokyo just want to blend in and go about their business. So I think there's slightly different, things. Oh, Geist, you were interviewed for NHK in Akiba? Where, do you know what show it was? Oh yeah, Ninja Dave, that's just my general feeling of it. It's very big. Tokyo is a much, much bigger city. It's like 4 times the size of Osaka. And so we have a lot more international resources here. Like, Osaka is not nearly as big as Tokyo. It's not even close. So, they're quite different. But generally, I think the guys who I know who live in Osaka like the fact that they're gaijin. The gaijin I know in Tokyo spend their time basically trying to not be noticed. I don't know why. I don't know why I think that, but I just do. I was in a documentary? What documentary? My goodness. I've seen, of course I've heard Ninja Warrior the game show. Oh, and good to see that Japanese girl here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A Japanese girl. You should go check out her videos on YouTube. They're pretty funny. Oh yeah, the Tokyo Comedy Store documentary. Yeah, I was in that. I think that documentary would have been a lot better though if it had had more of me in it. I think it should have been just about me personally. I don't know why they had to put all those other people in that video. Part 1 of Tokyo on a Shoestring. You're right. No, I don't know if anyone's put that online. Well, the good thing is, eventually, at some point, all of the Tokyo Eye back episodes are going to be put online on video on demand. But that might be like another year before that happens. So they're trying. NHK was working on that, but right now it's just we stream stuff at this broadcast, but we don't have video on demand yet. So we're working on that basically at the moment. And I'm not dressed up. This is what I wear every day. I wear a tie because I'm a working man. Yeah, I know, it's sad. Like, even in the I basically always wear. Oh, Baizi. Like you don't exist. It's true. It's sad but true. No, it's not true. It's funny, like Poindexter 28, TC style. I don't actually have style. I've been dressing the same way since like junior high school. Like I don't know why, because I went to an all male Catholic high school, and we had to wear jacket and tie, but we could wear any jacket and tie we wanted. You didn't have to. It didn't have to be. It wasn't uniform. You just had to wear like business dress. And then when I went to university, I didn't have any clothing, basically, that was like normal people clothing. I had like 2 shirts. I used to call them my driver's ed shirts. And I would wear them alternatively on Saturday for like driver's ed. Because I had to go meet like the normal people. So like, I didn't have any clothing. So when I went to university, I ended up wearing basically a modified version of my high school, like button-down shirts with ties, or sometimes, God, crazy, no tie, and a blazer. But actually, recently, I've been thinking about doing like a YouTube video and actually doing it for real, like an overhaul on my image. And I want to like go to like one of the shops in Harajuku where they sell all the like hip hop clothing, and see how I would look as a hip hop guy, or then maybe go to one of the like fashionable shops where all the Japanese dudes buy their, you know, fancy jeans that are pre-ripped and stuff like that. I have to get like someone to go do it with me. I might try to get like Emily to go with me and do like a whole video on creating a new image, because I have no real sense of style of my own, I don't think. So I have to kind of figure out some kind of new look. Sky blue suit would be awesome. I would totally wear that. That would be fantastic. Fantastic. Yokosuka. Yeah, I can buy some shoes from Nigerians and get some like hip hop clothing for a bunch of Nigerians. And actually, the Kill Bill suit, I think that's officially retired now. I cannot conceive of any reason why that would come out of retirement ever again. I think that's, and even the second time, that was really just by chance. That was just by chance. I went to a place called Chaminade High School. I doubt anybody out there knows that, but Chaminade in Long Island, New York, is infamous in the New York region for guys like myself, meaning dorks. Huge dorks. My high school was entirely white, skinny dorks. Pretty proud of that, my peeps. But we were the only all-male high school in like New York City area. Basically, all the other ones went co-ed except for us. Chaminade. And we our alumni include Bill O'Reilly, Lou Gerstner, CEO of IBM, Al D'Amato, former U.S. Senator, the leather guy from the Village People. Yeah, we had some interesting alumni, I guess. Yeah, Bill O'Reilly went to my high school. I met him. He came to like career night, and they had all these alumni come and talk about their careers. And at the time, he was doing like what is it, Access Hollywood or one of those shows. And he came to talk to like a group of 40 of us who were interested in broadcasting about life in the world of broadcasting. That was funny. It would banzi be Yokosuka. Yokosuka. It's always 4 syllables. But like sometimes, you know, as they say it, some sounds can disappear. Like the U in des often disappears. Like I can't hear them say it, like des. But there is a U, but sometimes they kind of disappear. But no, I did not grow up in upstate New York. I grew up in Long Island. But yeah, so basically my fashion sense has not really changed since I was a high school student. So I feel like I gotta get more fashionable. I always have thought that, but I'm just not very good at getting dressed. No, I basically don't teach anymore. I have one private student, Oba-chan. It's a woman in her 50s. I just taught her for a real long time, and she's just really nice, so it's impossible for me to stop teaching her. It's more guilt at this point than anything else. I have to keep teaching her. It's been years I've taught her, so I can't stop that. And I teach one junior high school class on Tuesdays, but it's a private junior high school. But other than that, I don't teach much anymore. Yes, exactly. Elinam 1022. That's my idea. That's my plan. I want to do a new. No, she's not. She's not a cougar. We'll see. Thank God. But no, I feel I want to find something new, something unique. Maybe like a denim suit, all denim, all the time, and a bolo tie. That'd be cool. White denim suit and a bolo tie. I think that's gonna be my new look. The redneck prom look. Hold on a second. I'm moving tables so I can be near the electrical outlet. Exciting. Then coffee shop. Alright, I'm back. So I have electricity now, which is a good thing. We could do that. I don't know, that Japanese girl. But I don't know. I've tried, in the past I've tried to do like guests and co-hosting and shit like that on Blog TV, but it never works out. It always just ends up with incredibly huge amounts of lag. People get pissed off. So, I don't know. Can you get good pizza in Tokyo? As a New Yorker, I'm going to say no. But as a gaijin, I would say yes. Oh, don't worry about it, Poindexter. I would not be around me nearly as much if I were not me. That makes sense. But no, but like generally pizza here, just to answer that question, like I mean if I was from like Oklahoma and I had never had real pizza, I would think Japanese pizza was okay. But because I'm from New York, I've had real pizza, and I don't think it's okay. But I mean, it's not that bad. Yeah, Tokyo Sam definitely embarrasses me. But that's kind of why I like being around him. Sorry, that's your answer your question there, Scriblets. But it's like, I don't know, Tokyo Sam and I are wired in very different ways. So, for example, Sam will talk loudly on the phone on the train, which is against Tokyo etiquette, and I will not. It's a very basic difference in our personalities, um, but that's the case. I basically am a person who follows rules, and Sam is not. You know, I don't. I try not to judge. I try not to judge. Try not to judge. I mean, I like Sam a lot. He's an amazing guy in certain ways, but yeah, we're different people. That's the thing is, I like being around people different from myself. I mean, hanging out with people similar to yourself is usually not very interesting. So, biked around Tokyo. I have a bicycle. I keep meaning to do a video about my mamachari, but I rarely, if ever, use it. However, I am moving the 21st, I believe, of this month, and the place I'll be at is much further from the station than I used to be. So yes, I got the house, by the way. I'm moving into this month. Um, so yeah, I might have to be using my bicycle a bit more. But the strange thing is, my bicycle is registered in the name of a Japanese woman. So if I get stopped by police, I have to explain why my bicycle is registered in the name of a Japanese woman. And so I kind of avoid riding the bicycle just because I don't want to get stopped by the police. Yeah, it's what's my bicycle. It was given to me as a gift from a student who had an unhealthy obsession with me, and I took the bicycle, but I have to re-register the bicycle. But in order to re-register the bicycle, I'd have to contact said crazy woman, uh, which is not something I really want to do. So I have like this bicycle registered to it, like a formerly obsessed student, and yeah, I kind of don't know what to do with the bicycle. Because you have to have, in Japan, you have to register a bicycle to your name, so they can check and see if the bicycle's been stolen. Uh, I don't know. I got to figure out somehow, some way to. So basically, I just leave it in front of my apartment. I never use it. Occasionally, I go to the supermarket. That's a couple stations over. But yeah, I know. I'm totally. Somehow, it's going to come back to haunt me. It's totally going to come back to haunt me. Allegedly, Kynapple is supposed to stop by. This is technically my White Day show, and I have some chocolates to give her for White Day. Let me email her and see if she's coming by. Tomorrow's White Day. Just gonna. I'm at basically her station, so she should be nearby. Yeah, her diet's over now, I think. She sees when I got her. Oh, Yeah, St. Patrick's Day is this weekend. There's a big parade on Sunday, but to be honest, I just got so much to do this weekend. I don't think I'm gonna. I might stop by the parade a little bit, like just a little tiny bit. But I'm not gonna do a video about it because I covered it all in the previous video. Sort of like I recorded a Krispy Kreme video. Just like I don't know, I don't really want to keep updating forever the whole Krispy Kreme thing. I think this year I have to put up this Krispy Kreme video, but I think this year is the last update on the Krispy Kreme. And St. Patrick's Day I'm gonna skip. Actually, I recorded some stuff for Mardi Gras this year, but the video was kind of lame. So there's going to be a big Kenji update, I think, when I move. So moving later this month, I'm going to have to do a big Kenji update, and I think it's about time. I'm looking at buying him a bigger tank, and also buying him a roommate. I found a good shop that sells goldfish, and I think I found the type of goldfish I want to get him. But the problem is, yeah, if I do get another fish, probably one of them's gonna kill the other one within like a week. I hope that would make a great video. Or it's gonna, I don't know. I have to get another fish. So that'll definitely be after that. And also the Hanami video. Actually today, literally today, this is why I'm wearing the pink tie. I have to record a video for the Hanami party we're gonna have the end of this month, beginning of next month. So I have a bunch of like random stupid videos I have to put up that are not particularly interesting, but I have to do. So there should be a bunch of random stupid videos in the next 2 weeks. So actually, I was thinking about getting Kenji a Twitter page and just updating on what pebbles he's chewing at the moment. I thought I was doing I hate Twitter personally. I think Twitter is awful, and Twitter should be anyone who twitters should be taken before the Hague and punished as a crime against humanity. But I think if I Twitter, I'm going to publish every day my blood pressure, weight, and body temperature. I thought that would be a fun use of Twitter, just to put my blood temperature, my temperature and blood pressure each day, posted on Twitter so you can keep up to date on the vital signs of Kevin Cooney. Dog book and cat book? Oh my god, why? I'm actually moving to the other side of Ikebukuro. The other side of Ikebukuro. It's completely pointless. Ah, Hiko Simon! Welcome! Good to see you, man. I guess you should be aware as well, the Hanami party is coming up soon. I'm going to put up a video, hopefully today, about the YouTube Hanami party. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see. Oh, fine. Yeah. God, I don't even remember now. How did that go? Oh, good. Yeah, actually, it was good. It was awesome. Hiko Simon's at work. That would explain why you're on Blog TV. But yeah, no, the comedy show was good. It was like 100 people or something at the Tokyo American Club, which is a pretty cool venue. It was awesome because like the Tokyo American Club apparently has more money than they have sense. They had printed up these huge posters for the comedy show that were just gorgeous, like huge like silk screen banners and stuff. Pretty cool. I totally wanted to steal one in the lobby. Totally wanted to. Actually, randomly, this is bullshit. I'm wearing the same jacket I wore the night of that show, and so I happen to have these. But like, they have this bullshit system where you can't buy beer with cash. You have to go to the front desk and buy like these coupons, and then you can use the coupons to buy beer. So I have like 10 yen, really? A 10 yen coupon? And then some of them are more, it's like 250. But when you leave the club, you can cash out your tickets for like real money. But I forgot. I just walked out of the place with like 3,000 yen worth of Monopoly money in my pocket. It's totally bullshit. So now I hope we have another show there soon because I want to get my money back, or at least turn it into something useful like beer. Alright, sweet. I have just claimed the neighboring table. Now I have a seat for a humanoid guest, if Kyna ever does show up. The pay was pretty good. I think I haven't got paid for it yet because I left after I went on and then I just went home, so I haven't gotten paid yet for that show. Private shows pay pretty well. I think it was like $100 or something for that show. I don't know. Are there food stamps in Japan? Oh man, if there were, I'd be on them. But like, no, I don't know actually. I don't know how much the healthcare system is pretty good, to be honest. Like, and there's a lot of like government programs to subsidize if you have like serious medical problems that require long-term care. I know those are pretty effective. Like they'll cover pretty much 90% of stuff. Like if you're born with some like severe problem, like the government's pretty good on helping with those things. But yeah, healthcare is not free. You have to pay for it. But if you can't pay for it, then it'll be taken care of. Like, but if you can pay for it, you have to pay for it. And actually, the amount you pay for healthcare depends on how much you earn. Like I remember one of my friends who had healthcare, like when she was not earning so much money, and then she became quite successful, and the amount she had to pay for healthcare was just ridiculous. It's a huge amount. So she's like, screw that. And so she stopped paying it for a couple of years, and then got sick and wanted to go back onto the healthcare. And there was this back fee of huge amount of money that she had to pay because she had gone several years without paying it. But once you enter the healthcare system in Japan, you have to pay until you die, basically. But you don't have to be a citizen to get it, which is nice. I have government healthcare. It covers, like, it depends on your age, but it covers like 70% medical and dental. So 30% have to pay. And as I said, if you're in a difficult situation, like you can get local ward area healthcare that will cover the other 30%. And I think you can get down to like 5 or even nothing, depending on your situation. Oh my God, Tats, it's a horrible story. But actually, that's been a huge problem in Japan recently. Hospitals recently have been doing a lot of refusing people to stay at the hospital. They like the ambulance calls up and says, "Hey, I got this woman," and the hospital says, "Sorry, we're full. We can't take her." And they keep driving around. Like this one woman, this happens like every month, basically. Basically, hospitals keep refusing the person, and eventually the person just dies in the ambulance because no hospital will take the patient. But that's happened a number of times recently. It's kind of shameful to the Japanese healthcare system, but yeah. I've heard I've heard that people say that like a dentist, for example, they'll string it out over 5 visits rather than one. I don't know. I've never had that experience. Um, yeah, exactly. Slick Willie's right. There was a pregnant woman who died in the ambulance because no hospital would take her. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. But they have huge structural problems in the healthcare industry in Japan. Right, every country's got issues with this stuff, but they also have problems because there's a huge number of old people who view going to the hospital as a day's fun. They just like hang out in hospitals, and the government has to pay for it. And just the graying of the population in general. We have way too many old people. We're gonna have to have a cull soon. Actually, like everyone got pissed off at Prime Minister Aso because he said, you know, it's ridiculous that everybody has to pay for perfectly fine, healthy older people who spend their days sitting around eating and talking and drinking, and then like go to the hospital for minor ailments. And everybody got like all freaked out that he said that. But I got to be honest, he's right. You know, he kind of called it like it is, and everyone was like, "You can't say that about old people." We're like, yeah, you can. I'm totally waiting for the day when Japan transforms into Logan's Run. But I mean, of course, people were more just angry that he shouldn't have phrased it the way he said it. But I'm seeing a lot more over the last 7 years as just an outside observer of the country. I've been noticing more and more friction between the elderly and young people of Japan. Most of it in like always like just little first-person stories, little events, things that happen. Um, but it's growing. It's growing, and I think there's a growing sense of anger at older people in Japan, especially from 30-something people who are working. It's almost 1 p.m. here in Tokyo. But the problem is young people in Japan don't vote. Old people vote in huge blocks. So a lot of the government programs will be continued even though they have to be cut because old people will protect their own money. And so young people are going to have to pay outrageous taxes to keep alive, a third of the nation that, maybe more than a third, 60% of the nation who's over like retirement age. It's ridiculous, the statistics on our population. So Japan in general is basically screwed in the coming 10, 20 years for population reasons. I guess it's really a good thing only if you're into GILF porn. I suppose that would be the only group for which it's an upswing. But otherwise, I think living in a country that's half over 60 is not necessarily a good thing. It would be great if we could have an earthquake that only kills old people. I'm not sure if we can do that. That would be interesting. Actually, when I used to teach English, there's often like in schools they'll have like conversation classes where you just chat with the students. And one of my favorite things to do would be to explain like one of my ideas. I just take like, you know, a eugenics idea or some type of horrible genocidal type thing, and I try and explain it as though it was a normal idea. And often like people would agree. It was funny, but it's like what the government should do basically is we just need to build housing facilities for elderly people, right? And you know, these housing facilities can keep all the, and the Japanese people will like totally agree, like, yeah, I guess that's great, that's great. But you know, just housing them really isn't enough. They really need something to do. So we'll build like a workshop rec activity center nearby the housing center, right? Put a little smokestack here. And they can build like little widgets and arts and crafts and stuff like that, you know. But we want to make sure that it's safe as well. So we have to build some type of, you know, security system around the rec center and elderly homes. So yeah, we could just build like a fence, you know, and then every day they could live in their housing center and go to work to the rec center. And they could build fun stuff like chairs and furniture for, you know, for sale to other people, you know. And it's funny because it would take, you can tell how smart somebody was by how soon they would object to the idea. But, or maybe not. You would, like, a lot of people would be like, that's a good idea. That's totally a good idea. You know, but it's amazing to see how many people would go with the idea, you know. But I wonder though, it's not such a crazy idea. My plan for the future is I think convenience stores are going to end up being like basically elderly care facilities that like they distribute meals. I think that's the only like reasonable way to do it, to privatize care for the elderly and run it through like convenience store chains that deliver food to the elderly and check on their like medical, you know, whatnot. I think that's the only way to do it. But yeah, Soylent Green, that would be another good way to just turn the people into tofu. But it is bullshit. I mean, nobody in Japan likes old people. Like, old people are just viewed as a weight on society. But I remember when I was in high school, in like the world history class, the teacher explaining about how Confucianism causes people in Asia to respect the elderly. What a load of bullshit that is. Like, people in Asia are no more respectful than in the West, you know? There is sometimes like a pretend respect for old people that we have here that we don't have in the States. Like, even in the States, we don't necessarily always have that pretend respect. But in Asia, there is sometimes a pretend respect for older people. But like, the reality is most people just want them to die and go away and watch TV shows about Morning Musume and other 14-year-olds who are the people who really run the society. There's a lot of green tech, but what I've been noticing in Japan, and this is similar to the US, but I think Japan does it exceedingly well, is they do pretend environmental stuff to make everybody feel better, but don't actually do anything. So like, I remember there's one show where they were like, let's go out and find people and find out what they're doing to help the environment. And their big thing was green bag. It's a bag used for shopping, so you don't use a vinyl bag at the shopping store, at the supermarket or whatever. It's actually traditionally Japanese people used to use this like a kind of cloth bag, so you don't have to use plastic bags when you go to like the store. But that was the big thing. That was a huge thing. Oh my God, we're using cloth bags, not plastic bags. Wow, good job. Global warming's done. You got it. You know, how about the obscene and ridiculous amount of consumerism in this country that is responsible just for gross consumption? But but the bag. We don't use the bag anymore. You know, so it's ridiculous to me. It's these really small little effort things they do, like a little, you know, tweed, what do you call it, twine wristband that says they're a green person, but you know, nothing they do is actually green. You know, so it has to be done at like a industrial level, in my opinion. But yeah, there's a lot of like Tokyo people bullshit where they think they're making the environment better by doing this or that. Like, the most ridiculous one I ever saw was, I did a piece for NHK, the show called Tokyo Eye. We went out to Machida, which is western Tokyo, and they had this recycling center where the local residents of the area had set up this recycling center to recycle everything. So they could recycle absolutely anything and everything. So every single product, if you take it to that recycling center, they can recycle. And I was asking like the people there, you know, so how many people come here? And there's like, it's like 50 people in the town who like, it's all housewives who have nothing to do during the day. And so they drive their garbage in their car to this like center where they spend all day cleaning and gathering different types of garbage. And then that garbage, they try and find a company that will buy it, like plastic caps and stuff like that. They sell it to companies to recycle it. But basically, they are driving their own garbage to this like site to recycle it. To which I said, wait, but doesn't the constant trips to the recycling center by car actually hurt the environment? And they have to wash everything, like they have to wash all of these plastics and everything. So the amount of water they go through is like this insane amount of water. Like, what about the amount of water you use to like, clean the things? But they were just like, oh, well, it's just starting. We're just, you know, beginning. But, okay. Good job, guys. You know, so they were very well intended, but I get the feeling that the reality is they're actually probably like pissing in Mother Earth's face. It's really just a hobby. You know, it doesn't actually affect any change. It's just their hobby. It makes them feel good. So, I mean, a lot of Japanese people very earnestly believe in trying to help the environment. I think maybe that's different. I think the give a shit factor is higher here. Japanese people, it's easier to sell the idea to Japanese people that we should recycle and do stuff like that. But in reality, I don't know if this country is doing anything more than the US is. At a consumer level, I should say. I mean, Japan is almost half nuclear power, for example. So nuclear power does not emit carbon dioxide. You know, I would say Japan's nuclear power has done more for greenhouse emissions than any other stupid thing they've done at a consumer level. So yeah, we have a shit ton of nuclear waste. That's a problem. But now they're up in Hokkaido, they're trying to build a plant that can recycle used nuclear waste. You know, so there's a lot of a lot being done. But like to me, that's more meaningful than collecting pet bottles. Yeah, yeah. Launching nuclear waste into space. You do not want that shuttle launch to go wrong. Kasurat. I hate that question. That doesn't mean I hate you. I don't hate you. I hate the question because it's due to a lot of misinformation on the behalf of certain people on the internet that question is so prominent on the internet. And I'll get to the whale thing in a second too. But like, there are private clubs in Tokyo. There are, for example, in Golden Gai, which is a very cool area, many bars that have like 6 seats, literally 6 seats in the bar, 5 even, 5 chairs in the bar. They do not allow you, and by that I mean me and probably anyone watching this, to go to that bar. Because only people who are already regulars of the bar or have been personally introduced to the owner are allowed in. You know? The reason is it's like a small family. It's the mama-san. It's usually a woman, somewhat older, in her 50s or 60s, who runs the place, and her regular assortment of Joren-sama. And the reason those people, Joren-sama means a regular. A Joren is someone who often goes to the same shop. And those seats are reserved only for those people. So, no, yeah, there are clubs that exclude people. Then there are sex shops, like, you know, prostitution places that you can go to get like a blowjob or something like that. And they often will forbid foreigners because it creeps out the Japanese customers. They will say, like, you know, Japanese guy does not want to go hit that after he just seen a, you know, huddle of black dudes go in. Whether or not you think that's right or wrong, it's prostitution. And yet I've heard people argue, oh, you can't deny, it's prostitution. Yet people get pissed off about that. So, like the YouTube video, for example, if you like Japan, Japan doesn't like you, I would say 90% of the businesses they show fall into either of the 2 categories I just explained. One being very small places that do not basically allow like people they don't know are not allowed in. And this includes Japanese people as well. And the second kind is like sex industry stuff, which basically they don't want to allow foreigners in. So, you know, that's the 2 main sources where you might get denied entry. So, unfortunately, people then take those few examples and go crazy. And every now and then, rarely, there is a restaurant or an internet cafe or something like that that says no gaijin. But usually there was a specific reason. Like, I remember one guy telling me that his local internet cafe didn't allow foreigners because they had a problem where foreigners would come in and use the computers and then just walk out without paying. But, you know, it's rare that it's actually ever really is there a legitimate business that doesn't allow people. Like, you're not going to walk into like a supermarket and you're going to say, no, these are Japanese apples for Japanese customers only. You know, it's incredibly rare. Although my friend Dave, who's been on the show, he has a great joke. So I was walking through Avis the other day and I saw a sign that said, colonic hydrotherapy, you know, like getting an enema, right? Colonic hydrotherapy at this estee, like a salon. But then underneath that it said Japanese only. I was really upset because I thought, ethnic cleansing. You know, it's a joke, but yeah, there are some rare businesses. Like I could see maybe a salon or some types of things that might limit their people, but it's so rare. It's so rare, and most of the people who complain about this, I hate to say, are white, college-educated people from the West who have spent their whole life looking for something to be pissed off and oppressed about. So they come to Japan. Yeah, it's like David Ardo. Like they come to Japan and they're like, "Oh, I'm oppressed. Yes, finally, someone's oppressing me." You know. So, but personally, I find it ridiculous. But then again, the moving apartments recently, I had many landlords say no because I was a gaijin. Many landlords have said no to me solely because I'm a gaijin. That's it. Oh wow, the guy in the little profile pic up there saying hello to me. That's creepers, jeepers. Oh, and the smiley girl, yeah. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So yeah, like, in terms of moving apartment, you'll run into that type of discrimination often, but I never run into it in other parts of my life. So, yeah, so to be honest, I've had little or no problems with discrimination. Now, if you're from China or Korea or North Korea, yeah, I think or Africa, and I mean from Africa, not from the US and being black, you might have more problems than being a white American would be. So, and that's in Tokyo I'm talking about, yes. Tokyo is basically an international city, so foreigners are not so unusual. If you went to the countryside, I think you would put up with more bullshit. If you were like in a small town in the countryside, you put up with more bullshit. But to be honest, I mean, no, you wouldn't. You know, because people get to know you after a while. To be honest, like, I hate this discussion, but the issue of race in America largely comes down to issues like people expect, that like there's a lot of fucking racists in the South or someplace like that, you know? But to be honest, in Japan, foreigners are so rare that situations will arise in which people do not know how to treat you. But the result of that situation entirely depends on the actions of the foreigner involved. And I think this is in some ways different from the US because of the sheer difference in numbers, okay? Like, racism issues in New York are different because you're talking about large blocks of different cultures living side by side. But in Japan, it's like one dude in a building, you know? So I think it's the foreigner's reaction to the situation that defines whether or not it's a problem or not, more so than the society, you know? But I mean, I don't know, because I've talked to many Africans, Chinese, and Koreans, and they tend not to bitch as much about racism in Japan as white people from the US do, and or people on the internet. The people who complain the most about racism in Japan are people on the internet. Actual people I meet here in Japan who actually live here, I don't hear anyone who really talks about this or discusses it or has a problem with it. It's only fucking people on the internet who seem to have a problem with this. It's like the whole, like, why don't Japanese women date black guys thing, which is such a load of horse shit. It's such a I've only heard this on the internet. I have only fucking heard about this on the internet. I know so many black dudes who have Japanese girlfriends, and it's not a non-issue. It's a total non-issue.
In fact, I know many Japanese women who only date black men. Like, I've been to like dance clubs that basically I could have been set on fire and nobody would have looked at me. You know, it was like black guys only are the it guys at those dance clubs. Like, I might as well be invisible at some of those clubs. Yet on the internet, like, there's this big issue. I think actually, and I've only come to understand this recently, when people say Japanese don't date black men, what they're actually talking about is Asian Americans don't date African Americans because they've never been to Japan. But you know what? Asian Americans are not Japanese people. Like, and I get a little giggle every time someone tells me, like, oh yeah, I'm Japanese. Like, my mom is from Japan. Like, no, dude, you're not Japanese. Sorry. Nobody here thinks you're Japanese. It hurts to hear that, but sorry, it's true. You have to pretty much be born here and be 100% ethnically Japanese to be considered Japanese and have lived here your whole life. So it's like, yeah, with all the Irish Americans. Well, like in America, people say it all the time. So I think people confuse race problems in America between different ethnic groups with race problems in those countries. It's like, you know, like the Asian Student Association is comprised of Filipinos, Japanese, Chinese, and Korean students who all get together and talk about how they're not black or white, you know? But actual Japanese people would probably rather hang out with white or black people than Filipinos, Koreans, or Chinese. So it's ridiculous to me when I see like these Asian student unions that are comprised of all these different Asian groups that all get together so well in the US. But the reality is actual Chinese and actual Koreans and actual Japanese fucking hate each other. But like at a university campus in the States, they're all holding hands and playing ukulele and singing songs of love, you know, because they're not actually Japanese, they're not actually Korean, they're actually Chinese. They're Americans who happen to be Asian. But I think sometimes people misunderstand. And like, so they see a guy in New York, like a Chinese guy in New York who is really racist towards him, like who hates black people. Actually, and this is, I found the perfect example. This is the perfect example of this. Sorry, this is all getting so, you know, heavy, but I was rewatching season 1 of Lost, and there's this great part in season 1 of Lost when the Korean dude attacks Michael, the black guy, and they get in the fist fight. But the Koreans don't speak any English because the wife hasn't admitted she speaks English yet. So they're trying to figure out why the Korean guy attacked Michael, the black guy. And of course, it was because of the watch Michael found. Michael found a watch in the like airplane crashed stuff, and that was the Korean guy's father's watch. And so he thinks he stole it. But Michael says, yeah, I know why he attacked me. Back where I'm from, guys like him don't like guys like me. And it totally clicked in my mind. It's like, oh, that's right. Like, black Americans cannot understand the difference between Asians and actually people in Asia. That's entirely different, you know, their worldview. So, like, I mean, Koreans, I don't think really have an opinion about black people. But it's like in the character Michael, he was thinking about all of those Asian people he knew in New York, you know? But like Koreans in New York are not Koreans, they're Americans. And it's really hard to explain this to people, but it's true. Like Chinese Americans in New York are not Chinese people. Korean Americans in America are not Koreans. They are Americans. And so if you have racial problems between like Asian Americans and black Americans, that has nothing to do with Asia. You know? But to be honest, like in my opinion, I have had almost zero problems in Asia in terms of racism. The only concrete example I can give is moving apartments. That's the only situation I can give. But like in terms of work, I mean, like in my office, like one of my jobs, I'm running an English language website. I'm the only native speaker in the office. There's only two foreigners, me and a French guy. So like anything I say is basically word from God. So if anything, like it works to my advantage in most situations. Like where in meetings I can like pretty much overrule anybody's opinion despite being the lowest ranking person, because I can just say, well, speaking for Gaijin, I say this, and they have to accept that as truth, because nobody can like counter my argument. Nobody can counter my well, but then again, I'm a Gaijin, so I win. Which is actually that's the biggest thing I'm worried about personally. It's whole. There's the biggest thing I'm worried about personally. There's a kind of gaijin who lives in Japan, and actually I may have already become them, who basically just gives their opinions constantly and is used to everybody always agreeing with them. And they're so fucking irritating because they're English teachers. And basically they spend all day teaching, but actually just spouting off their stupid opinions at people. And nobody ever says, well, actually, or wait a minute. People just go, and like accept what they say, and Japanese people never counter their opinions. And they often don't know many other foreigners, so they don't have a chance to actually be told they're wrong by other people. So there's a lot of like Colonel Kurtz, Heart of Darkness type people here that like they start to believe everything they say is true, and they develop like a kind of God complex. And I emailed the woman, but she's not here yet. But it's kind of scary when I meet those foreigners, and I'm afraid I'm becoming one of them, like one of those foreigners who just thinks everything I say because I'm a foreigner makes it true. I'm in a Tully's Coffee in Avis. The French guy is definitely in that category of people I just explained. Like, it's impossible to get a word in edgewise with that guy. Yes, I can read the menus. But it's just delusion. It's delusionary. Just people start to think that what they have to say matters, but it doesn't. The drunk French dude. I like that you call him that. Good. I just saw I got some emails from him and I have to do work now later this afternoon, which sucks. I took the JLPT like 6 years ago. I think 6 years ago I took level 3, and I got like a 68 or 67 or something like that on it. So I just barely failed it. I haven't tried since then to take the test because I haven't really needed it for anything. I took Sunkyu, but I haven't since then. I haven't taken it. I think about doing it. I should take Nikyu at some point. I think I could pass Nikyu. EQ I could never pass. That would be impossible. My kanji is too shitty for EQ. It's not impossible, Cognac. It's incredibly possible. It just requires you complete several steps which take time. Yeah, did Hiko Simon pass EQ? I don't know. I'm not even sure if he's still here. I know he's at work, but I wonder if he passed. I wonder what he'd think about that. No, he's not here. I wonder what he'd think about my gaijin men who think that they know the answer to everything rant. No, I'm pretty sure Hiko Simon could probably pass EQ. I gotta get one of those. I gotta get like an electronic dictionary or a Japanese wife or one of those things. Oh yeah, sorry. Whale Wars. Yeah, I haven't seen the TV show, but from what I hear, it's awful and stupid. Um, but yeah, the whole whale thing is another controversy that, to be honest, nobody in Japan gives a shit. Is their opinion. The majority of Japanese people really don't care and are not interested. Emily, I don't know. Emily, it's funny. It's weird with Emily because her Japanese is really good, but she doesn't know anything about Japan. Like, which I mean, it's natural. It's really weird. It's like I'm amazed at how good her Japanese is, but like for example, certain foods or things that like if you lived here for a while you would know. She doesn't know. So it's weird. It's like she's still learning about the country, but her Japanese is excellent. Very good. Yeah, but the whale thing is it's such a non-issue to Japanese people. The majority of Japanese people do not care. You know. Oh yeah. And the captain faking being shot. I saw that in a news article. Greenpeace needs to shut the fuck up. Seriously. Greenpeace doesn't actually do anything anymore. Greenpeace stopped being a real organization about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago, Greenpeace actually did worthwhile things, but now they just exist for the purpose of continuing their existence. Every large charity eventually becomes like this. They generally start out with a pretty good intent, but then they get too big, and their purpose becomes just to continue to exist. And they're all about fundraising just to keep themselves going, and they don't do anything useful anymore to society. No, I did not get Emily's DVD signed. Actually, probably gonna see her tonight. Hopefully, there's a Danny Chu is having a party tonight in Tokyo that a number of internet dorks are going to. Yeah, he's doing it again. I kind of don't want to go at this point because he's doing it like every month, but it's kind of like everybody else is going, so I feel like I have to go. Like, so yeah, the Tokyo Stormtrooper guy. But we really do not need these parties every month. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think I said the same thing last time. You're right, Smo. I should do something ridiculous at the party. Maybe I should just set something on fire. Or I just go shit in the middle of the room. That would make it an interesting party. So yeah, I should streak the party. I mean, yeah, he runs a great website. He's an amazing guy. I'm totally fascinated by Danny himself, but just this party, I don't think we need it every month. Actually, yeah, and the Hanami party thing, I gotta get that. I gotta go take that video today. So, if anyone's in Tokyo, come out and check out the Hanami party. I'm not totally sure when it's gonna be yet. Hold on, I gotta grab something to eat. I'm fucking starving. Uh, call Kyna, where the hell she is. totally gonna stand me up, I know. Damn her. Why HMG, Griffin? Why should I tell her to stop e-begging? Why? What's sad? She got enough money to pay for her school now. She can stay in Japan. I'd say that's awesome. She was gonna have to leave the country if she didn't get that money. So she got the money, so good for her. She only got it because she's a cute chick and guys are pathetic. Guys are pathetic, this is true. Chicks are cute, this is true. Why does it make it wrong? I don't understand what like imaginary rule it is she's breaking. Like, people who make TV shows earn money on those TV shows. They earn money. It's people do it for financial reasons. If she says, "Hey, give me money," and people want to give her money, hey, who cares? I mean, because I know Victor, Give Me a Break Man, who I respect, was giving her shit about it too. I don't understand why anybody cares. It's really not my problem. It's not anybody's problem but her and the stupid people who want to give her money. Like, I think it's if she can get money for making her videos, good for her. Personally, I'm not going to ask for money. Personally, I'm not going to ask for money because I think it's not something I want my channel to be about. But yeah, I kind of don't care what other people do. I don't understand why people get upset. I mean, like, that's the thing. I understand your feeling. Sorry, I forgot your username. The guy who just was asking about that. I mean, I totally understand your feeling. It's not cool, but I don't understand why it matters. I don't understand why if she can get money, hey, good on her. Good luck to her. I wish her the best of luck. I mean, she's not tricking people. She's not stealing from people, so. Oh, cool, Tex. Yeah. Yeah, no, oh, sorry. I thought you said yeah, it should be good for networking, but I don't like networking very much. No, I mean, if somebody gives her money, I think that they are insane. I don't know why you would give money over the internet to someone you don't know. Like, I think that's retarded. If you give somebody money on the internet, I think you're an idiot. But if she asks for money and people want to do it, good luck to her. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with her doing it. If people want to give it to her, I mean, fine. I would never give my money to somebody else. I mean, like, I paid for dinner a couple times, I think, when we've gone out. But that's just, it's common courtesy. That's just, what a guy does. But sending people money over the internet, that's crazy. Yeah, I know, and actually, Kasurat, I have no problem with that either. Apparently, Kaina's Twitter has said that she's asleep. So I think she's going to try and stand me up. I got a check from Google for $114. which is all the money I've gotten from everything, being a partner, as well as my own website, Google AdSense ads, for about 8 months. Under $14. Wow. I'm thinking Emily probably makes about $100 a month on her video ads. Probably. $100 a month, maybe. Hmm. Morgan is Canadian. I'm not an economist, but I think there's something incorrect in your statement. The only thing I saw recently, YouTube just started a new program where you can buy videos. So like you're gonna be on the website, you can download uploaded videos and pay per download. So you can actually download the videos from YouTube on the site, but you have to pay some small amount for it. I think that would be cool. I mean, because to be honest, I mean, personally, the reason I can't do more YouTube videos is because I am busy making TV shows about Japan that pay me. I mean, in my situation, it's very bizarre. Basically, I have to work. I'm working in a company, and they pay me to make basically the same content that I'm making for YouTube. But YouTube, I do it just for fun. So it's bizarre. Now, I used to have, what is it called, sock, tube sock, and it doesn't work anymore. I'm sure there'll be new software will come out, and the Firefox download helper doesn't work anymore. So I tried TubeSock and the Firefox browser download helper. Neither of them work on YouTube anymore. So I think they're going to try and just keep changing the software to prevent people from downloading the videos. But the idea is, it's like, yeah, if you want to download it, then they're actually getting something. It's kind of like, iTunes, downloading a song, sure. But I think that's could be an interesting way to monetize YouTube. Download helper still works? Okay. I do sometimes. Atlanta Nelson, I download clips from YouTube, but usually they're stuff that's been illegally posted, not original content. Yeah, torrents are better anyway. But anyway, nobody in YouTube Japan, well, maybe Maggie Bond is maybe making enough to pay about half of her living expenses. Yeah, but I don't know, with the e-begging thing, I kind of don't care. Yeah. Who knows? I will never be able to explain Maui Bomb. I think the existence of Maggie Bomb proves only the existence of Maggie Bomb. Like, it exists just because it can exist. And I don't know. I don't know why the world needs it, but it exists. Like Paris Hilton, yeah. But in Paris and Hilton, at least there is some type of content. I would say flashing her vag badger to a paparazzi, that's content. You know? Maggie Bon, it's like, I'm sorry, but I can't even masturbate to that. Like, it really, I do not understand at any level how that would be useful to anybody. I mean, if she at least was on a trampoline or something, it would be, I could begin to understand. I don't know. I don't know what her deal is. I have no idea. Good night, Money Zoom. Hey, Brian. Zoe Riverboy, brilliant as always, makes the absolutely correct point, and yet we talk about it. You know? And that's the thing I've noticed watching YouTube. With the one of the only few exceptions I can think of is like, no, actually, there's no exceptions. All the people who have become popular on YouTube, basically, it's for being talkaboutable, like geriatric, uh, you know, all of these people, like they get people to talk about it, good or bad. So people who are hated will move up, and people who are loved will move up, regardless. I remember Blunty 3000. It's pretty popular. I think he's got 25,000 or something like that. Recently, there was a scandal thing, like where apparently he beat his girlfriend, and people put up videos, and she put up videos saying, you know, the case was dropped by the Australian court, you know, because she left the country. But she put up a video, and some other people did, about, you know, this domestic violence this guy Blunty 3000 committed against his girlfriend. And so I immediately went and wrote down his subscriber account on a little piece of paper, and I checked back in every week afterwards to see, you know, what had happened to his subscriber count. And it's got more subscribers today than he did before he had people posting videos about him being a wife beater. So it just goes to show. Hey, wake up. Were you sleeping? Okay. Wow. I'm at the Tully's in Avis, but not for so much longer. Okay. So step by. You know where it is? It's you know where the Footnik is? Footnik. Or okay, go out the other side of the station, past the Beckers, and turn right and walk straight. The road curves to the left, and you just follow that around, and it's on the right. Okay? Sure. Right. Yes, I am in Ebisu, Anfield 22. No, that was Kyna. For acting Japanese, wow. It's funny, it just happens naturally. Where is Avis Dave? I should have called him too to come down here. Driblets. They don't stare at my jump. I mean, I've caught some people looking like, you know, side of the eyes. Yeah, I've caught some looks, but no, they don't stare. And yes, they have Oreo cookies, Bunzy. That's the thing though, like, I don't know. I don't think I mean, I've never found them staring. Maybe I'm just not much to look at. Oh yeah, there's hairy Japanese people too. But yeah, I remember one time I went to the Sento near my house, and afterwards I went to the convenience store. You know, my hair was wet, I had a towel over my shoulders, and the Korean guy who worked at the convenience store was like, "Did you go to the Sento?" And I was like, "Yeah, this place is great. I love going there. Have a bath, chill out, smoke a cigar. It's nice." And he was like, "Oh man, I can't go there because there's like this little old lady who sits there in front of the TV, and she takes the money when you walk in, but she's also there to watch in case anybody like passes out in the, you know, bathtub or anything like that. And she's kind of watching, make sure everything's okay, but she just sits there watching TV and kind of occasionally checking, making sure everybody's okay in the women's side and the men's side. But he just said like that freaked him out too much, having this little old lady like watching him get naked and suds up. So I don't know. Yeah, and sometimes there's a guy like because my Sento, it's a husband and wife, and they switch off back and forth. So it's either the husband or the wife. And I've caught her checking me out when when I first started going there. I caught her a couple times. The guy, I didn't though. Hypnosurf, I'm so jealous. She's like in her 50s, I think. Mm. I remember one time though, I was in there like I was just getting changed, to get ready to leave, and there was some other guy who lives in the neighborhood, and he was like naked, standing in front of the woman, like chatting with her, like just like he was talking about like this spring is going to be really warm, I think. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like toweling himself off. I mean, just like standing buck naked, like 2 feet away from the woman, chatting with her. And it's like, really? I mean, I know that she works here, but still, you know? Exactly. I mean, she's seen everything, but it almost was kind of like it was more like he was showing her than he was like having a conversation. You know? And she was just kind of like, yeah. But it's kind of funny seeing a bathtub full of naked Japanese guys. It's a real moment in life. Well, yeah. Actually, the Kanamara Matsuri, the Iron Penis Festival, is next 3 weeks later, April 5th, I think. I did a video on it last year. But, you know, things like that, the Kanamara Matsuri, the Iron Penis Festival, or Sentos with nudity. The reality is, I mean, just people in Japan are less hung up on nudity and sexuality compared to specifically America. I mean, everybody knows America is puritanical, but it is pretty ridiculous. Yeah, mixed onsen definitely exist. But I hate to say it, but I think people here are in many ways more adult about sexuality and nudity. It's just ridiculous because like the amount of violence and gore on like American TV in prime time, but the attitude towards like nudity in prime time, or like even like Facebook was like taking down the pictures of women breastfeeding. Like, oh, give me a fucking break, really? Mm. It is kind of ridiculous. It's a little bit sad when I see how immature people are, and it's stuff like like the statue of Lady Liberty was like redressed to cover her like naked breast, or whatever, like things like that happen at like even museums. It's shocking to think people are so retarded. Well, I think in Europe, I mean, when I was in, in the UK, it was better. I think, like BBC is less prudish if it's got artistic. Did I not just explain that? Did I not just explain that? This is your station. How do you not know where this is? Hey, Mish. Hey, yes, on the east side. So go out the east exit from the gate. There's a Becker's on your right there, right? Turn right on the street, walk straight, and the road curves to the left. Follow the curve, and you'll see Tully's on the left. There. She should be here momentarily. Oh. Say hello to today's lovely guest.
I'm not guest, am I?
You're kind of a guest.
Why am I the guest?
You're semi-guest. Actually, you're guesting in exchange for chocolate.
Oh, okay. Hello, Internet.
Look, I even put tape on it.
Did you miss me?
See that? See that? That's classy.
I'm hot.
So now I'm inviting you all to take part in what we call, this would be the White Day ceremony. So, hello, woman.
Hello.
This
man.
is Geary Chocolate.
Yay, Guinea Choco. It's my favourite choco.
I hope you enjoy it,
Thank
but not
you.
too much. Please don't read into this.
Yay, we're not going to have sex.
So, so White Day, basically, the men have to give back chocolate to any woman who gave them chocolates on Valentine's Day. But actually, now that I think about it, you didn't give me any chocolates on Valentine's Day.
Nope, I didn't.
Bitch. Give me that back. Fight you for it. But yeah, White Day is tomorrow the 14th. So men have to give back for anything they got. But because I'm an incredibly nice / lonely person, I give them to everybody.
Aww.
Especially you. They're handmade. You want to try one? You're gonna throw them out, aren't you?
No, I'm going to take them home and
You're not gonna cherish. You're gonna cherish them into the garbage can.
I'm going to cherish them into my stomach.
Yeah. So actually, they call one of the other terms they call is giddy choco. But giddy choco is like really from offices. I think it's like a secretary has to give the boss giddy choco. It means like it's giddy. many people probably heard from the movie The Yakuza. Have you ever seen the movie The Yakuza? It means like indebted. How would you call it? Like indebtedness? Is beauty.
Oh.
It's indebtedness, I think.
Wait, there's a word for it.
Nelson, I like that idea a lot.
I don't.
Actually, no. Technically, White Day is supposed to be like 3 times more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking ridiculous. Really ridiculous. Indebtedness. I think I would translate giri as indebtedness. So it's like obligation. Obligation. Yeah, obligatory chocolate. That's probably one of those words that we say differently, right? Obligatory. Yeah, you say it wrong. But actually, I've heard that that's not really popular anymore. It used to be like in the 80s and 90s, everybody did that. I've heard more and more people just give chocolate to people they actually like now. They don't, yeah, stupid. Ew, yuck. Kevin says water incorrectly.
Oh, and Lance Nelson, actually, apparently there is a Black Day. And it's 1 month after White Day. And it's when people who got nothing for Valentine's Day eat like these black noodle things, apparently. It's not Japan.
Really?
It's somewhere else in Asia.
That's awesome.
That's what I've been told.
I want to do Black Day. That's so cool. Yeah, actually, the UK has also some stupid holidays, like Hot Crossed Buns Day. Yes, there is. It's the UK. You guys do that. You have like sticky buns or something like that. It's like I think it's around Easter.
Pancake Day.
Pancake Day. Yeah, that's what it's called. Pancake Day. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a real holiday to me. That sounds like a holiday you make up when you're 5.
It's actually Shrove Tuesday.
Today's Pancake Day.
It's Shrove Tuesday. It's Shrove Tuesday.
Shrove Tuesday. That sounds like a real holiday. It sounds like official. But Pancake Day, it sounds like a child made it up.
7th wave. You bloody well know I'm English.
I get in the frame. Nobody wants to see me. There we go. There it goes. I was asking about the Danny Chu thing tonight.
Yeah.
You going?
Yeah, I'm going.
I have to go too. I don't want to go.
Yeah, the Circle Jack.
Yeah.
The weeb orgy.
And actually, I'm in charge of bringing the toast this time, so I got to bring a couple slices of white bread. Now that would be quite a pancake day.
Why does everyone think British people have bad teeth?
I know, you look lovely in flannel.
Thank you.
It's true, you do. And now when you have that, she bought a bass, what is it?
Yeah.
Recently. You totally could be a lesbian at this point.
Didn't you know?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think me and Emily do all day.
Oh, why don't you have cameras? Would it be so hard to record that? Yeah, English chicks have cute accents in some parts of the country, but there are some really hideous British accents, like Manchester. It sounds, I guess, like the Long Island accent sounds like an American English.
People from Essex. Guess where I'm from?
Yeah, but you don't sound particularly like you're from Essex. Like, I don't sound particularly like I'm from Long Island, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm an Essex girl. It's horrible, isn't it?
Proper English? I don't know. I don't buy that bullshit. English is whatever you say. I sound like a Long Islander? Don't say that, Tamerlane. God, no. I've trained for years. I've attempted to stop sounding like that.
What do I do in Japan?
What?
Currently, I'm on spring break.
See?
And then starting in April, I am studying psychology because I got into a course. Everything is not fine. I don't know who I'm paying for it. But my visa doesn't run out till June, so I don't have to worry too much. I've paid all the entrance and registration fees.
Oh, you paid the interest?
Yeah, I still have like another 700,000 yen outstanding, but I got the first payment down.
Awesome.
Thank you for the Imidato. That's very excited.
Yes, it's expensive.
Yeah, all in all, it's just over 800,000 yen. But basically, I have paid for my entrance exams, my registration fees, and like you have to pay book fees and things. So I've paid all of that now, and I'm enrolled on the course. Yay!
Yeah.
I just showed off my bad teeth.
Because they're naughty?
No, it's because only these ones are straight.
Oh man. The last time I touched a toothbrush was to clean a gun.
Financial aid. Eventually, apparently I can apply for a scholarship, but only after my first semester. Otherwise, they have no academic record to go on. So you have to be quite a decent student.
I'm out.
The modelling shoot yesterday was absolutely amazing. It was really, really fun.
Actually, I have to say, those photos from, what was it, last Wednesday or whatever? Wow.
What, the base ones?
Yeah, the ones with you
The
in the
base ones
base?
are good, right?
Wow. Like, wow. Seriously, wow. Who needs coffee?
I'll tell you what I did yesterday.
I mean, wow.
So yesterday,
It's a good thing I think of you as a friend. Otherwise, wow.
no, it's not Danny Panani, silly. We're different people.
Oh, what was the thing yesterday?
Photo viewer. You are a movie. Why are you a movie? I don't want to see movies. I want to see photos. Dick, though.
Oh yeah, and
Why are you being a dick?
again, apologies for telling people that you're a transvestite. Yeah, come on, it's a little bit funny.
It was funny until people started asking me for advice.
Apparently, at the party a month ago, I was talking to somebody and sarcastically said, you know, she really impresses me to see how far she's come. I mean, only 2 years ago, she was, you know, a 17-year-old boy in the English countryside. And now he's here living her life the way she wants to. And the guy just was like, oh, really? Okay. And I thought he was just being like, he got that I was being sarcastic. But apparently he didn't. And so kind of started receiving emails from
Random people on the internet asking me for advice about transitioning. And I was like, because I felt really guilty because these people are obviously in a very, very difficult place. And I wanted to send them some kind of like nice message. But when they really opened up to me, it's horrible.
Yeah, no, I felt bad about that too. I just thought it would be obvious that you're not, you know, trans. I mean,
Well, I do have quite a square jaw.
you have a square jaw. That's true. Well, you originally started that rumor. You were the one who started the joke. So I don't take complete blame. I take like 50% of the blame.
Joking about it once, perpetuating about the YouTube community is slightly
That's true.
different.
That's true. Like that was great. I got an email from Victor. Give me a break, man. He's like, is it true that kind is a man? Oh man, the way people gossip, it's hilarious. Yeah, so do you play the guitar?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a guitar too.
He doesn't play the guitar.
I could play the guitar.
I do actually play guitar very badly and bass averagely.
Yeah, we should start a band. That'll solve our money problems.
Yeah.
Bad idea. No, my music days are over.
What kind of music do I play? Well, my favorite bass lines. Well, my favorite band bands are Interpol and Queens of the Stone Age. So I like playing those, and Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Gaijins and Roses, that's a good name.
That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah. But
Yeah, no, seriously, I mean, I think you don't even actually have to really play music. I think you could do well with just the miniskirt and the bass.
I think not. My mum, I sent the photos to my mum and she said, they're fabulous, wear trousers next time. What's my favourite MSI song? Ooh, that's a hard one. Probably Molly.
Dress her up as a schoolgirl.
I love to Molly. And also, Bed of Roses is nice. Can everyone stop perving on me?
Yeah, come on, that's creepy. Stop it.
I'm not really a fan of the funky bass. The funkiest I get is, I really like... I really like the moving units. I will kill them. They have really nice bass lines, especially Between Us and Them. That was the first bass line that I learned. So I really like moving units. I will destroy you.
But bass in general, like I always used to ask people, if you had to have one member of the band babysit your child, which member of the band would you trust the most? And I've always argued it's the bassist.
Which is exactly why
you would never
like
trust
bass.
the lead singer,
Because
the
I
guitarist,
like
or the drummer to watch your child. But the bassist
Everyone missed my
is usually like the
joke.
normal one of the group. Do it again.
I said, and that's why I learnt bass, because I like children.
Ah, yes, I see. I see what you did there.
This is what I did there.
But I think, yeah, generally the bassist is the most trustable person in a band. And by the way, Poison, what was it, Poison? There's like 3 bands going on tour this summer that are insane. Poison and Def Leppard and I forget who it was. They're all going on tour this summer.
Yay.
I saw them on TV. They're like in their late 40s, 50s. So sad. So
Actually,
sad.
last weekend, I was hanging out with Tetsu Yamauchi, the bassist,
that's right.
the bassist from Rod Stewart and the Faces.
Her life is far more rock star than my life is.
Yeah.
Sadly. Yeah, that's true. I don't think famous musicians want to hang out with dorks.
Yeah, Rod
If you're a
Stewart
hot
and the
chick, it's
Faces.
easier.
His name is...
It's all right. Going back to that discussion before, yeah. What the hell? Guys are pathetic. Hot chicks piss me off. They get free stuff.
Ah, your fucking keyboard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, free. And what, Ross Stewart in the Faces. Ross Stewart in the Faces I know, but free I don't know.
Well, opening a new tab.
Control. Open. I gotta look at this one. Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
My gallery.
It's the menu. Yeah, seriously, wow. I don't know. There's very few bands anywhere I like anymore. And that's a good question. Why is Michael Jackson so big here?
Because everyone else is quite short.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Do you see what I did there?
He's doing the London concert series. It was so lame because he's like, and these are my last concerts in London ever. It's like, oh good, there's only the rest of the world left to play at. That guy's gonna have, I'm guessing, at least 20 final shows before he dies or is killed.
by an angry child.
Just to leave that out there as a possibility. Yeah, but I love the Tommy Lee Jones ads.
Yeah, he
They
looks so
are brilliant.
serious. It's like,
They are brilliant. That's such a great series.
that's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, and no doubt. What about him?
Actually, that was Gwen Stefani with the Harajuku Girls. The Harajuku Girls.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. I always get really excited when anyone from the West does anything Japan related because I'm like, ooh, that's us. You know?
And immediately after, I get really irritated because
Yeah,
they're doing
yeah.
it wrong.
Actually, I just watched on Hulu.com. There's a pretty good documentary under a show called Empires. PBS did a 3-hour documentary about the Shogun period from Tokugawa Ieyasu to the last of the Tokugawa shogunate. It was so interesting though, but it was funny because every single source they cited in the documentary was a gaijin. Because they were all in English. All the original sources are in English. But it was just so funny. Like they did a documentary on Tokugawa Japan, but all the sources were like like Commodore Perry's crew, Hounds and Terrace, like the Jesuit missionaries.
Nice.
Like really, these are your sources for your documentary? How about asking, I don't know, the people who were there, Japanese people? That it was so amazing to see like a PBS documentary, but there was no original Japanese source material in it. It was bizarre.
Very foreigners. Me on Tokyo Island.
Should have you on Tokyo Island.
Depends how good your sensor is.
Oh fuck it! It's not live, thank God.
Hot cock, shit, box, wine cup, ass, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have like Romaji email addresses. That's cool, actually. I've seen often like on the train when there's like an advertisement, they'll have a website and they'll have like the phonetic hiragana underneath like the Roman letters for old people who can't, or just stupid people who can't read Roman letters. Sometimes they'll have like phonetic explanation of which sounds are which, so people can remember the website. It's hilarious. Friendship Festival. What's the Friendship Festival?
That's a friendship festival.
That sounds really gay.
It sounds really lovely. We could be friends.
Let's be friends. Oh, let's. I wouldn't call the Penis Festival the Friendship Festival. Oh yeah, the Hanami party is going to be either the last weekend of this month or the first weekend of next month. It's not decided yet.
Me and Dom.
No. You can come in disguise. As long as you come incognito.
Oh, bye-bye, Tamale.
I still don't know what the oh yes, the military base. That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. I did go out to that once. Out west. I don't know. Yeah, I want to go to that, but I don't think I'll make a video of it. I think this time I'm just gonna go shopping. Are you on YouTube, kind of?
Not really.
He has videos on YouTube.
I make videos for my mom.
I think they're awesome.
For my mom.
It kind of has a tendency to start doing stuff and then delete it, like you did with your Blog TV account. And
Well, it's only because I didn't use it.
But yeah, no, I would definitely check out
I have a life of lines.
Kind of. I want to get one of those.
Yeah, you should try it. It's fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of work, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, are they expensive? That's a good question, David. Is it expensive having a life?
I don't know what this number is. Why does it keep calling me?
Call, pick up.
I don't want to because I don't know who it is.
I know what you mean. Is it both? What the hell is that? Where the hell is that from? That's an international number, I think. Later, point next year. Yeah, let me answer. I'll answer. It's a good idea. It's weird though. Like whenever you get like a random phone call and you don't know the person's name in Japan, because I've gotten like wrong numbers from Japanese people occasionally. And that's got to freak them out. Like they're trying to call up their friend Kenji or whatever, and some gaijin answers the phone. Like one time, a guy like thought I was a friend of his friend, and we were just joking. One of my friends also, I think it was Dave. He got an email from someone who wanted to be mail tomo, and so he wrote back. He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'd love to be mail tomo. We can mail mail friends, mail back and forth. I'm a foreigner, whatever." And like the guy on the other end didn't believe that he was a foreigner. So he was like trying to prove that he's a foreigner through like text mail. Like, no, I really, you happened to pick the random email of a foreigner. Weird. I don't think, do people in other countries do shit like that? Mail tomo?
But I think of a place in Japan. I like them, but I wish that they were more accommodating for my giant arse.
Your ass is not giant. Shut up. So, these are all pretty great articles today. But this is another date cafes to shield kids. So apparently there's like a coffee shop. Well, cafe is a very loosely used term. So like girls go there and hang out, and then guys go in, and they look through like a one-way mirror and look for a girl they like, and then they get for $10 you get 10 minutes to chat with the girl you pick, and then the two of you, if you decide to, can do whatever you want. You can go leave or go somewhere. But apparently it's basically just for prostitution, and there's apparently underage women doing this. So I know what I'm doing this weekend. I know what I'm doing this weekend. Oh, really?
Yeah. It was really interesting.
But how could you be sure?
Because she like ran up to this random guy, grabbed his arm, and was like, "Do you like girls?" And he was like, "What?" And she's like, "Do you like me?" He was like, "What?" He's like, "Let's go shopping." And he's like, "What?"
That's awesome.
It's really quite. She kept like grabbing onto him for
Good for her.
Whole street.
Good for her. No, but actually, the reason I bring this up is because there's one really interesting point. I saw this and I'm like, oh my god, underage prostitution in these cafes. I've seen these cafes
so he was like,
all over Japan. No, I was just like, wow, that's really shocking. And then I read into it. Police handled 59 cases in 2 years. I was like, wait, what? 59 cases in 2 years? That's nothing. That's nothing. Really? 59 cases in 2 years? This is like a pretty big article. I was thinking, but I think the reality is, when it comes to Japan, stories like that, people love to read stories like that because, like, oh yeah, in Japan they have, panty vending machines. Oh, in Japan they have like robots that will give you blowjobs, and they have all these things. But it's for some reason those stories always get blown up. I think much bigger than they actually are. The reality is, it's like a minuscule number of people that have been involved in this. But like, if I'm sure this is on the front page of every Japanese themed website, like Japan Today or Japan Probe, this will be the top story because it involves young girls and sex. But I think the reality is it's not any more than it would be in any other country. It's like a weed epidemic, yeah, in Japan. Oh my god, there's drugs. But who gives a shit? Night geek. Later. Yes, I remember Ken Tanaka's video. HMG Griffon. Are you getting used to the food here?
I know. I've always been used to it.
Yeah, that's true.
I got food poisoning a couple of weeks ago and ended up.
I got food poisoning.
Yeah. I ate tacos. I got takeout tacos.
Where'd you get tacos?
Delivery.
This is sad, but despite the fact that you just informed me that you got food poisoning from the place, I want to go there.
That's Lynn sent me some Taco Bell stuff for you.
Oh, nice.
Seasoning.
Nice. Sweet. It's weird though. Like, yeah, you just told me that you got food poisoning from that place, but like, I want to eat there today, now.
I don't know what it is.
Because, to be honest, like if there's food poisoning, it's probably pretty delicious food.
It was delicious.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, an eating disorder. Don't be silly. I've never tried fugu, no.
I've had fugu. It tastes like fish. Actually, that's why I love the Anthony Bourdain episode where he came to Japan on the show Cook's Tour for Food Network. Because he went to all these, like, went to a fugu restaurant, and he's basically like, yeah, it tastes like fish.
Because it's fish.
Yeah, it's really not very exciting. But I was so excited to see him be honest. Because, like, you're doing a travel show, you want to be like, oh, it was so amazing. Blah, blah, blah. No, it really just tastes like fish. It's completely unexciting.
Yeah, I'm still modeling.
Yeah, no,
I do other things as well.
She's got to marry a guy who can give her a visa. Sorry, Dan Kunani. Behind y'all.
Rest of the shop.
Triffid. Yeah, I don't think I won the Andrew Zimmerman thing either. I'm not sure if they announced it yet or not, but they certainly didn't tell me.
I'm gonna get a student visa. I'm in no hurry because my current visa doesn't run out till June.
You get till June?
Yeah.
Wow, actually you got a lot.
Yeah, and also it means I don't have to worry about attendance at the university.
Well, I mean, if we can get the money to pay for it.
Well, yeah, that's not so worry now.
But miracles happen. So.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd just start hanging out near the Mori building a lot and revealing outfits. That would be.
Grabbing people's arms and go, do you like dance? Do you like me? Do you like shopping?
If I were you, I would just wear extremely sexy outfits and hang out a lot in the Mori building. That would be my plan. Yes, he is, Scriblets.
No shit.
Sexy. Yeah, I don't know why. It's always dark anywhere I go for this show. I don't know why.
It's you.
It's me.
You have this like ambiance of evil.
It is. Dark
foreboding.
evil. It's evil. Well, I think it's because, I don't know, my face is dirty, maybe. I should wash off this bacteria.
It's quite funny.
Yeah, no, you're actually quite pallid. That would be awesome though, like if in like cartoons how like Cloud follows you everywhere.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. And you could actually see it like just above you. Like that's my Cloud. I think, yeah, Emily's going to be there tonight too. So yeah, actually tonight's going to be a huge dork fest. Everybody from YouTube's going to be there.
She might not be able to make it. Actually.
Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. So you and Claytonian's going. I love that guy. I love Claytonian.
He asked me to be his friend.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said no.
Yeah, because he can't give you a visa or money. Sure.
I don't like him that way.
Yeah.
I'm currently very much in love with someone, so it's okay.
Let's see who else. Yeah, Danny Chu, obviously. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be interesting. And also, I'm bringing
I was gonna. They wanted me to like run through naked. They wanted me to run naked through the place. But oh yeah, go for it. You have to do it in the thing over here. Well, actually, I was pissed off. Like recently, someone sent me a friend request for like a sock puppet account with Emily's account, like you know, like some modification on her name. And it's had all these videos bashing her, and it was like wanting me to be their friend. It's like why would I want to be the friend of like some sock puppet account that's sole purpose is just pissing on other people, you know, who are basically my peers, you know. Encyclopedia Dramatica is asinine. But now I'm totally gonna get a entry. Thanks. Hope you get an entry that tells everyone about your penis. You're right. I've mentioned that a few too many times today, Simon. I don't know why. I have to admit, though, that I was not entirely comfortable doing that Kill Bill thing. I was really like, oh shit, am I really going to do this? And then after I watched the video, I debated it for quite a bit, like whether or not I was going to actually include that footage. Because to be honest, that is not my proudest moment on screen. Like, but I guess I just sucked it up and said like, I stopped trying to be cool a long time ago and put it in. But I really debated cutting that footage out. So I do not exactly love me in a skin-tight fucking bodysuit. On the wall of dicks. It's pretty funny.
I'd like to know how that would work.
That would be cool. Because like, if they were erect dicks, I mean, you could like kind of, you know, pull yourself up by them. But if they were non-erect, I think they would just be kind of dangling. You could swing, perhaps, from one to the other.
Habib at Toxic Commando.
Weird.
Twinkie.
It's so
house.
funny. Like, I don't want to go ranting again about the whole concept of the word weeaboo. It's amazing. It's like, I remember I got sucked into one afternoon. I got sucked into looking at this boxy stuff on the internet. I was just like, what is this? I see a lot of people talking about it. So I looked at it, and it's just like, after like 2 hours of trying to figure out what the hell, excuse me, what the hell it all was, it was just like, wow, the people who spend their life and time doing this are really fucking sad. It is so sad. It's really, really sad, you know? But, you know, it's kind of, I guess, better that they're at least in their homes, not out in society, you know? That would be the worst option. Yeah. I think Kindness getting tired of doing this, I'm going to have to do it now. Yeah, and I'm sure he's got many. But yeah, exactly. Chris Hansen, that was kind of the same thing I was interested in. I was just kind of thinking like, you know, wow, I hope social scientists are, you know, looking at this, because it's really fascinating, this new society that has like started basically in this new like online world. It's really fascinating. I mean, I'm kind of too old to like get really interested in it. Jap-sucking Jew. Wow, I didn't know I was Jewish. Yeah, but it's kind of funny how like Yeah. The problem is I don't really feel like doing it. Sucking meat. Yeah? Really? Okay. Yeah, we kind of do. So hilarious, though. Who else? Who are the people I know here? Who do I like? Yeah, where's Hilsey, by the way? He's probably off. He's probably on a beer run or something. What the hell? My favorite comedian. Actually, I'm in this weird thing right now. I have to hire a comedian from LA, like today or tomorrow. Uh, I'm running a comedy show here in Tokyo now called Pizza Express Punchline Comedy Club. It was run for about 15 years by this other guy, but he stopped doing it. So now I've taken it over with the Comedy Store. But it's the first time I've ever had to like hire a comedian from LA. So if anybody has any ideas on but they have to be like B-level comedians. They can't be like major famous comedians. They have to be like, regular touring comedians who play regular shows in like LA or around that area. David Uri doesn't have a stage act, unfortunately. But if it's already like anyone like that, their budget is way over my budget. So I have to pay for their airplane ticket, hotel, and probably about $500 for their performance fee. But and even that's going to be tough. But I don't. But anyone knows any good comedians in LA or anywhere really? It's just Michael, who you might remember from the show, is in LA now, so he's kind of running the that end of it. Where'd you go? Oh. They are mean, aren't they? Yeah, David Uri is fake. But here's an important thing. David Uri is not fake. He's just an actor. It's a bit. It's not. It's kind of like saying Homer Simpson is fake. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a cartoon. Oh yeah, I've seen a bunch of YouTube videos of the ventriloquist guy. But again, I think he's a little bit out of my price range. Oh, sorry, no, different Michael, HMJ. This is a Michael Neistat, the guy who was he was on the show a long time ago. He's the guy I went to the MMA fight with. Lisa Lampanelli. Look at that. It's funny. Lisa Lampanelli appears to only be funny at a roast. Like, she's not funny in any actual other thing I've seen, but she's great at roasts. You know? And film. Oh yeah, actually, I don't mind kind of talking about that. I think that's awesome, the whole weeaboo thing. Weeaboo is a concept I think only exists in the minds of junior high school and high school aged American teens.
Who are in denial about how much they want to go to Japan.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. Like, it's basically it's the same as far as I can understand. I'm not, again, young enough to understand these things anymore. Like, it's kind of like being a wigger, but for Japanese people. It's like a wannabe Japanese person. But I think this concept only really exists when you're in high school or junior high school. Because I think most adults I know want to be employed and have jobs and pay their rent and don't have time for bullshit things like this. Or people are aware of other things. I would say a wannabe Japanese person, that's like a Burmese refugee. There's thousands of people seeking asylum in this country every year so they can escape from possible torture and death in their home country. And yet these douchebags commit their time online to ferreting out people who have a huge anime addiction and persecuting them for that. It's so retarded. It's like, you know, it's kind of a symptom, I suppose, of how non-human some segments of society have come. It's like it's very similar, I think, to people who eventually go nuts in a room and kill a bunch of people. You know, like the guy in Alabama. You know, this is completely fucking pathetic that guy chose that route. You know, go out, kill a bunch of people, and then kill himself. But you know what? That's a very small step from, you know, walking into random chat rooms and writing random shit, basically so you can get attention. I think it's basically, that's the Alabama guy too. It's just attention. It's because no one gives a shit about you. And it's such a pathetic attempt to get attention, you know? It's because it doesn't even make sense to me. Was Commodore Perry a fucking weeaboo? You know? Like, is the ambassador from the United States to Japan? Like, you know, I've met, he's a very nice guy. Is he a weeaboo? He works and lives in Japan. It's hilarious. It's so hilarious. I wish I was Jewish. Then I'd be rich. That'd be awesome. Yeah, why can't you? You're plenty of money. Oh, you're on the half. But yeah, that's true. Exactly. I grew up on Long Island, so I guess I'm kind of an honorary Jew. Pretty much everyone I lived with was. Yeah, kind of doesn't. That was frightening. You haven't tried the chocolate yet, by the way. I'm a little hurt. All right, you don't have to. Just want to throw them out. That's fine. She's gonna throw them out. I know.
I want the chocolates you make. Here's some chocolate. It's good. Couple.
Sweet. Good? Mission accomplished. Oishii! I don't know, I'm trying to think if there's any more commentary from the Samurai for a Day thing. I don't know, that was pretty cool though. I definitely recommend check it out. Yeah, I went with Michael. He likes Michael. I think actually Michael likes you quite a bit.
Yeah, he graped me when he was drunk.
Yeah,
But now
nice.
he hardly talks to me.
Really?
What's that about?
We just have to get him drunk again. He'll probably be at the thing today.
Yeah.
Look at me.
No.
He's still here. Yeah, he probably gave up. She was putting off her you can't touch this vibe.
I didn't.
But yeah, the Samurai thing was pretty cool. Like I think there's actually the same company runs some other like stuff. I've been thinking about trying out one of their other programs. They have like a sushi making one. I already did that though with NHK for a TV show. I went and did a piece on that for Tokyo Eye. And then they have one where you go visit the sumo stables early in the morning. Like I think that would be cool, but it's kind of expensive actually. But I don't know. I want to look for one of those other things. If you guys look at their website and you find anything that looks good, let me know. Sumo thing would be cool, because I would like to go see the training sessions up close. But to be honest, actually, you don't even have to sign up with the program to go see them. Anybody can go. You just have to call the stable and make an appointment, and you can go watch it. So I'm not sure why I'm going to pay that company like a huge amount of money to take me there. I should probably just do it myself. That's a good question, Skrillex. Do people have to romanticize New Japan and get let down when they get here? Yes, definitely at some level. At some level, everybody does.
I
But
was pleasantly surprised.
yeah, no, me too. I
I
mean,
thought everyone would hate me.
I like Japan for all the reasons I didn't know about when I moved here. But like I remember, like the first day I got into Tokyo, I went to Shinjuku Station South exit, and I walked out and I'm like, holy shit, this is Tokyo! Just thousands of people swarming everywhere like an anthill. It was insane. And then I got on a train and went to Motohasanuma, like where my apartment was.
And it's like,
And I was like, and there's like nobody. It was like a Wednesday night around 7 o'clock, just dead. And like, oh wow, this is Tokyo. You know?
we both, when we moved here, like,
That's really bizarre.
We both moved to the same place. We both moved to Motohasanuma.
Now, did you specifically move there because you were stalking me? Or was that just totally random chance?
If I say yes, will it make you feel warm and fuzzy?
It will make you feel warm and fuzzy.
Yes.
Aww. Wow.
Am I a weeboo? Do you know how much I fucking hate things here?
Again, we enough on the weeaboo bullshit. But yeah, no, it was like in the one day seeing Shinjuku, which is Tokyo, and then seeing Motohasanuma, which is Tokyo, I kind of realized, like, oh yeah, that's right. It's not, the whole thing is not like Shinjuku, but I think that was, I mean, I already kind of knew it at an intellectual level, but yeah, there's little disappointment, things like that, where it's like, but it's not quite as crowded or crazy or different, you know. Like when I got off the airplane, the first thing I saw was a Starbucks. Yeah. So it was kind of like, oh, that's right. It's modern Japan.
Medical services can be expensive out here, but if you get national health insurance, then it's okay. Like
Yeah.
for me, I had an overnight stay in hospital and some surgery, and that cost a little bit shy of £1,000.
But then again, I remember my dad telling this story, like where my mom and dad came to visit Japan, and as the airplane was like pulling in, my dad looked out the window and he saw like a group of like 30 maintenance workers, like doing group exercise on one of the fields, and my dad was just like, "Oh my God, you're kidding me? Really? They really do that?" You know. And on the same token, I remember I was in New Jersey in Newark Airport, and it's cold winter, and I look outside, and there's two guys, like baggage loader guys, with a Nerf football playing catch next to like the airplane, and like little ski caps. And it was like, oh my God, that is so an American airport. I could not imagine like two Japanese airport staff guys throwing around a Nerf ball like at work, you know. So I mean, realistically, it is true. Like it really are those people, and you see those scenes, but it's just not all like that. It's not completely like that. Sushi's pretty good. Yeah, like, but I'd say people eat curry in Japan more often than sushi by far, which is another thing. I mean, most people would not realize that the average Japanese person eats more curry than they eat sushi.
And stew.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, I mean, the understanding that comes from the stereotype images of Japan is very different from reality. You gonna write on me? I'm getting an income. Oh, too bad.
I need to get going.
Yeah.
I need to be Harajuku in 3 hours.
I'll
I
see.
don't know what I'm gonna wear yet.
I'll see you tonight.
Yeah. Do you want to meet at Harajuku?
I don't. Where is it? Wow. Yeah. Let's discuss. All right. A beautiful Kina is leaving. Now it's just lonely dork.
Nice.
Bye, Kina. Oh, it's just a lonely dark. Yeah, I'm gonna go naked. Trench coat on the street to party. It was their idea. I'm probably going around 3 as well, so. Yeah, whatever happened to the coming of age video? Someone just asked.
Alright everyone, I'm gonna let you into a secret. The only reason that I wore kimono to that shit fest was because I wanted to make a YouTube video. It was horrible. I was the only foreigner there. And even worse, I looked absolutely fucking ridiculous.
You look great, by the way.
And so the video when I made it was mostly me going, I mean, I don't want to be this much of a weeboo. This fucking
whatever.
sucks.
You totally should have uploaded it. Lame.
I might do.
Lame.
But it was unpleasant to say the least.
Lame. Yeah, lame. I saw pictures. I thought you looked very nice, but it's women. They do not. They're not. What's the word? Sane. So that's the main obstacle. Bonzi, trust me, you do not want to work on that show. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Enjoy. The caramels are very hard, so don't lose any teeth. That was scary. Later. Yeah, but no, I mean NHK hires all of their. I mean, to become staff on any show in NHK is basically impossible. You know, sadly, they subcontract almost all of their work to small production companies. So actually almost all the people who work on that show actually are from different companies, and they're leased out to NHK for that program. So, but actually the cameramen, that's different. The cameramen are all full-time NHK employees, I believe. Like, it's weird the way the industry works in the unions and things like that. Like, most of the directors and producers are from other companies, but the cameramen, I believe, are all corporate. Like, they've been employed for years and years and years, and they just work on different shows. But anyway, don't worry about it. All right, I got another like 15 minutes or so. So what's up? Work with NHK is stable for me, but I don't have a contract with them, and I work on like 4 different shows at the moment, but I have no contract. So the problem is like becoming a, and this is not just NHK, but all companies. Once you become like a kaishin, like you basically don't get paid for overtime, and you are basically a slave to the company, but you will be protected. If they at all possibly can, they will keep your job. They will try and protect you for life. It's not so much true anymore, but it used to be more true. But now, fewer and fewer people have those jobs. They're hiring lots of temporary workers, temporary staff, and those people are very disposable. So, but those people get paid by the hour. They get paid for their hours. They charge overtime. So it's kind of changed a lot. Nowadays, the full-time company positions in any type of company are disappearing, and more people are working as temporary staff. It's a way for the company to basically cut costs. Yeah, temporary for them means a few years. Like, I see him. I see him. Scriblets. Why do Japanese people volunteer going on shows that end up hurting them and they get no prizes or anything? Probably because those are not regular Japanese people. Those are geinojin. Those are talento. They are famous people who are on those shows to provide entertainment, and they're paid to be on the shows. Most Japanese game shows, the contestants are famous people. Like, they don't have normal people on their game shows. So, and usually, like, the other person's completely in on it. It's not a setup, really. You know, Ninja Warrior is not even on anymore. Like, so it's an example, but yeah, I can't think of any other show like it. You know, but that's the thing. Is like, you know, I survived a Japanese game show. And I was talking to the producers of that, and they were like, "Yeah, you know, we realized that the only way these games actually work is if the people who are playing them don't care if they win or not." Because, like, actually, the majority of Japanese game show games, you can win very easily if you actually want to win. They're not that hard, but they're not people who actually want to win. They're people. It's just a structure to produce comedy. Majide means really, seriously, I guess. Oh, really? Katsurat, that's pretty much true. I mean, they don't like credit cards in Japan, generally speaking. It's a very cash-based society. But compared to, you know, when I came here, it's gotten a lot better. Yes, the game shows are rigged. Well, they're not really game shows. There's usually no prize. Like the Human Tetris one, there's no prize. It's comedians that compete in it, and they're on the show just to get more notoriety so they can improve their careers. But they don't cash. I direct transfer. I have to go to my ATM and put in my card, and I electronically transfer the money to my real estate agent. There's also no checking, like, you know, writing a check. That does not exist in Japan. I am not a talent because my Japanese sucks. That would be one good reason. And two, it's not really what I want to do. I'm a writer. You know, I would not want to be a talent. That would suck. Because I couldn't, like, enjoy my life anymore if I was a talent. You know, like stand up I do, but oh yeah, I do stand up quite often, but like that's not on TV. Slick Willie 440. Yeah, there's a bank card and a bank book, and the bank book keeps a record of every transaction you've done. I go in about once every 2 years and give them my bank book, and it sucks up like 3 hours at the machine. It was hilarious. I went in and I was like, yeah, I haven't used my bank book in a little while. Like, oh, no problem. And they gave me back like a stack of bank books like this. And it was like 2 hours or so. Nobody could use the bank book machine because I hadn't used it in years. I just used my bank card. But yeah, you're supposed to keep an updated balance on your bank book. I'm just too disorganized. Yeah. Anime fan. Yeah, it sounds like you're saying John A. My new place is going to be about double the size of my apartment now. Actually, more than double the size of my apartment now. So, yeah, it will be. It's a house, actually, like an actual house. No, I didn't record today's show. That's a good point. Oops. Oops. There we go. Recording. So, for any of you who might be watching this, I did not, in fact, record much today. We had a lovely little show. The always gorgeous Kyna stopped by to chat with us and answered some random questions. Had a good time as always. You may have noticed there's now daylight savings time, which means the show is starting at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not 10. I'm going to make my effort soon to change the banner as soon as I can. Kenji is okay, I guess, for those of you who are worried, and I got my house, so I'm going to be moving my apartment in about 10-15 days, which is also exciting news. YouTube Hanami Party is on the way. It's going to be the end of this month or beginning of the next month. Look at my YouTube channel for updates on the new house, the party, Kenji, all these things coming to videos soon. Awesome. See you next Friday. If you're around, stop by and say hey. But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about moving, but actually moving sucks. And also, I can't move out of my apartment I'm in now till April 10th. So I'm like paying for 2 houses for 1 month, basically, which sucks. It's a house. I don't know if it's Western or Japanese. There's tatami in the bedroom. Then there's one room that's wooden floors. And the living room is tatami, I think. Kitchen is wood floors. Sliding doors. I will record and post a video, a tour of the new place, as soon as I can. But fortunately, it's only about 15 minutes walk from where I live now. So I'm gonna just move like a little bit at a time, probably. No, and I'm renting, not buying. Like, me getting a bank loan is probably impossible. I mean, I'm not even a permanent resident, and my credit rating is, I can't even imagine. Yeah, well, Sam is actually also moving. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell people that, but he got transferred by his company, so he's moving to further out Chiba. He's going to be out by the beach. It's going to be like 2 hours from me. Oh, my heart breaks. But it's going to be big enough I could have guests stay. Well, not Sam. The guest room's not that big. But yeah, no, I'll definitely make a video of the new place. No, Sam's great. I love the guy. Yeah. All told, I think it was about $10,000 to move to this house, which is insane. Yeah. Yeah, I know I should. I should drink again. You're right. You're totally right. But actually, it's I'm gonna be clear. I don't have to pay rent till like April, I think. No, not April. May. I don't have to pay any more money till May. So it was like the first several months rent, 2 months deposit, a month for the agency, a month to get a Hoshonin because I couldn't find anybody to be my guarantor, so I had to pay a month for that. There's a lot of Shit. You're not required to be a resident to buy a house, but if you want to get a loan, the bank is far more likely to approve a loan to someone who has like if your visa only extends for 2 years, then legally you can only prove you'll be in the country for at least 2 years. So a bank is not going to give you a loan for 10, 20 years if your visa only extends for 2 years. So you kind of have to be a permanent resident to take out a bank loan. So any foreigners I know who've gotten bank loans to cover their buying a house, it's you know, they have to pay a lot of money. I suppose you could get a loan from anywhere you can get a loan from, you know. Yeah, if I ever go to Osaka, I will, Ava. Yeah, Sakura House, I've heard good things and I've heard bad things. Actually, I believe Kaina lived in the Sakura House her first, like, 6 months. And, like, all the women's shoes got stolen from the Genkan while they were there by some pervert. And one girl in the house was attacked by someone. Like, so she had not nice things to say about the conditions. But then other people I've heard have said it's great. You know, I don't know offhand where Sam's moving. But I'm excited. I'm going to be basically in Ikebukuro still. Just the other side of Ikebukuro. So I'm not really moving that far. It's just like a better place. The only bad part about it is right now the owner said I can only have 2 years on the contract. So maybe in 2 years' time I'm going to have to move out, which I kind of don't care about right now, but 2 years later I'm going to be really pissed off about it, I'm sure. Yes, farther from the incinerator stack. I'm basically in the shadow of Sunshine City now, or the new place. We'll be in just next to Sunshine City. Mone, that's true. Thank God I don't make over a certain amount. Shinjuku, actually, West Shinjuku, I wouldn't mind living there. But, I don't know. I like Ikebukuro. I don't know why. Someday I want to do like a little video poem to Ikebukuro. It's a cool place. But it's certainly not a good place. It's just a shithole. It's completely classless. But I like it. It's kind of like maybe the way some people feel about Philadelphia or Detroit, places like that, you know. Ginza's nice. My God. I think it's annoying when I meet people who live over here and are like expats and their company pays for their housing, and they live in these like gorgeous apartments in like Nishiazabu and Aoyama. My God. That pisses me off. Japanese equivalent to Beverly Hills is probably Daikanyama. Lots of random people. But Ginza's nice. Ginza's great. But Ginza's not really a residential district. It's not a place where you live. It's a shopping and business area. I don't think I wouldn't want to live in any other place but Tokyo. I've said this before. I don't think it's like, I don't know. I want to live in Tokyo. I don't really necessarily want to live in Japan. Like, I like this city, but, you know, I don't really care about the rest of the country. It's the same, I feel like. I would like to live in New York, but I kind of don't give a shit about the rest of the area around it. You know, New York would be a great city to live in. Again, you know. But I like Tokyo, but I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in Japan but Tokyo. I lived in London for a year, and that was cool, but I don't think there's any work for me in London. I mean, 'cause if I was going to move to an English-speaking country to work in media, I might as well go back to LA. I mean, if I'm going to move anywhere in the rest of my life, it's probably going to be Los Angeles. It's the only place I would move back to, sadly. I liked LA, though. See, I could do without the Japanese culture. Like, it's interesting, but I don't really need that. Like, what I'm talking about is like day-to-day quality of life. Like, Tokyo is a convenient, clean, safe city. But I mean, yes, it's true. That's true at LA, and I fucking hated the traffic. But like, I used to love after work driving down like the 405 and getting off at like Marina Del Rey, go sit at some beachfront restaurant, have a beer and a slice of pizza. That was awesome, you know. I loved that. And I had, you know, actually it's a lot more expensive now. When I left, the rent was not so bad in LA. It's gotten a lot more expensive since then. But yeah, I mean, like I could do without a lot of the like Japanese food and culture stuff. I mean, it's nice. I enjoy it very much. But for me, it's just like I like my job and I like my quality of life. So if I could replicate those in the States, I don't know. I mean, New York was a fun city to live in, and LA was nice, but anyway, my job is here now, so. I live in Little Tokyo, so I can hang out with Mexicans making egg rolls. Spanish rice roll. All right, I should get going. I gotta go record this Hanami video before it gets too dark. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully next week I'll have a regular guest on, somebody new. And hope everyone's well. And then I'll be back same time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, the banner's wrong because of daylight savings time. I gotta change that. And yeah, look out for the new videos coming soon. Probably next day or so. Later. Bye.